The societal discomfort with nudity is deeply rooted in cultural, religious, psychological, and historical factors. Here are a few key reasons why nudity is often frowned upon in many cultures. Most societies have developed norms around modesty, and the idea that certain parts of the body should remain covered in public. These norms vary significantly between cultures, but the general tendency is to view the exposure of private body parts as improper in public spaces. Clothing is often seen as a marker of social status, respectability, and civilization. Nudity can be associated with savagery, barbarism, or a lack of discipline in societies that value these symbols. Many religions, especially those originating in the Abrahamic traditions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, have teachings about modesty, where clothing is seen as necessary to maintain personal dignity and moral purity. These teachings often associate nudity with shame or sin. In Christianity, for instance, the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden presents nudity as a result of the fall, symbolizing the loss of innocence and the onset of shame. Being naked can make people feel exposed or vulnerable. In many cultures, there is a psychological connection between nudity and a loss of control or privacy. The human body is often sexualized in media and society, so nudity can be associated with sexuality. In many contexts, showing nudity is considered inappropriate because it could be perceived as provocative or sexually charged. Laws around public decency and indecency are designed to maintain social order and protect people from unwanted sexual attention. These laws often prohibit nudity in public places because it is considered disruptive to the social fabric. In some societies, maintaining a separation between the private and public spheres is seen as important for preserving societal norms, family structures, and individual dignity. In many Western societies, historical shifts towards Victorian ideals of modesty in the 19th century, for example, contributed to the institutionalization of modesty as a virtue. These ideals often emphasize the moral and social importance of covering the body. However, it's important to note that historical attitudes towards nudity have varied widely. In ancient Greece, nudity was often celebrated in art, athletics, and daily life, seen as a symbol of beauty, strength, and equality. In modern times, there is also a concern about the objectification of people's bodies, particularly women's bodies, in societies where nudity can be commodified or commercialized, like in pornography or advertising. This objectification can lead to discomfort with nudity in non-sexual contexts. Many cultures view the body as a private space that should only be exposed to certain individuals, such as intimate partners or medical professionals. Public nudity can be seen as a violation of personal space and boundaries. Despite these factors, it's important to note that attitudes toward nudity can differ greatly, depending on the cultural, historical, and individual context. In some societies, nudity is more accepted or even celebrated in certain settings, like communal baths in Japan, nudist beaches, or body-positive movements, reflecting a broader and more varied range of attitudes about the human body.